Today we are not in our Envision books, but we are on an Engage lesson. We are on topic 1, lesson 5, Engage. And today we are going to learn how to put numbers in standard form, expanded form, and unit form. So if I had the number 613 and 31 hundredths, the standard form would be just 613 and 31 hundredths. That's the standard form. The expanded form would be 600 plus 10 plus 3 plus 3/10 plus 1/100th. I could also write it like this: 6 times 10 to the second power, because I have two place values or two zeros. 1 times, excuse me, let me hurry and fix that really quick. 1 times 10 to the first power, which is the same as saying 1 times 10, plus 3 times 10 to the 0, because that means the same thing as 3 times 1. And then I would have my tenths, which would be 3 times 1/10, because that would equal 3/10, times 1 times 1/100th. Okay, and our last form that I brought up is unit form. And unit form would be 600, so just kind of spelling out all of the place values that we had, plus 110, plus 3 ones, we have 3/10, and we have 1/100th. So our objective of today is to get all of our numbers in these forms. I also want you to practice saying them as we go through this as well. And so today I'm actually going to be working on our place value chart. So I'm going to go ahead and switch screens and make sure you have your place value chart as well. So here's my place value chart, and we are going to go just ahead and do some problems really quick. So if I had the number 1,000th, remember I will write because it ends in thousandths, so I would write my 1,000th here. So that is how I would write it in standard form. If we were to write that in expanded form, I would write it either 1,000th or 1 times 1 over 1,000, which I like that better. Also, if I want to write that in unit form, I would write that as 1,000th. If I had the number 3,000th, and again, remember if it's in the thousandth spot, that's where your last number goes. So if I say 3,000ths, I would write that as standard form, 3,000ths, expanded form, 3 times 1 over 1,000. I don't know why it did that. And 3,000ths. So there's your unit form. Standard form, expanded form, unit form. Okay, now let's go on to another question. If I had the number 25 and 413 thousandths, I'm going to go ahead and put that on my place value chart. That way I can help myself a little bit with saying it in words. So at 25 and 413 thousandths, it is already written in standard form. So let's go ahead and write it in expanded form. So I could write it like this. I could write 20 plus 5 plus 4/10 plus 4/100 plus plus 100th, excuse me, plus 3,000ths. Ooh, I need to rewrite my 100th though, because I wrote 1/10. Let me hurry and fix that for you, because I'm sure that confused you quite a lot. So 20 plus 5 plus 400ths plus 4/10ths plus 100th plus 3,000ths. And I'm going to write that in the other expanded form. So 2 times 10 to the first, which is the same as 2 times 10, times 5 times 10 to the 0, because that just means we have 0 tens, plus 4 times 1/10 plus 4, oh, excuse me, oh my goodness, I'm having a hard time with that, plus 1 times 100th plus 3 times 1,000th. So that's our other way to write that in expanded form. In unit form, we are going to write it as 2 tens plus 5 ones plus 4 tenths. And you don't actually have to write the plus signs in between. Plus 100th plus 3,000ths. And I hope you can read that okay, because I know there's lines going through it from our place value chart. Okay, so that's how we would do the next one. Let's go ahead and let's do one more example. And I had to erase that because I was obviously running out of room. And we are going to go ahead and do number 4. If I have the number, and I'm going to write it out, 400 4,000ths. I look at this number and I realize it's going to be all behind the decimal place because I don't have that and word in there. And so I'm going to end in the thousandths place because that's what that 4,000ths tells me. And that is how we get 404,000ths. If I were to write that in expanded form, I would say I could write it the 2 ways. I could do 4/10ths plus, and I don't have a hundredths place, so I don't have to worry about that, plus 4,000ths, or I could write it 4 times 1/10. I like this so much better. I think it's much less confusing. Times plus 4 times 1,000th. And if I wrote that in unit form, it would be 4/10ths and 4,000ths. Okay, so I hope that's a little bit clearer to you. Now I'm going to go ahead and we're going to get onto another page really quick. And I'm going to just show you today's homework. And you need to do A through H, and please write this on a separate sheet of paper so that I can see what you were able to do. And so you're going to need to write, this first one is done for you, so they had you write 4,000ths, so that would be 0, 0, 4 with a decimal over 3 places. You need to write out 24,000ths as a decimal. You need to write 1 324,000ths as a decimal, 608,000ths as a decimal, 608,000ths as a decimal, and you need to write each of these fractions as a decimal as well. So if you are confused by these, go ahead and put them on the place value chart, and remember that when it has thousandths at the end or hundredths at the end or whatever, make sure that's where you put it as the last place value. So good luck, and I will see how your progress goes tomorrow.